Give stuff away.
All right, your Cleveland Monsters take the ice against the reigning Calder Cup champ, Chicago Wolves. It's a week from tomorrow, Friday, November 4 at the Romo Fijo. You're going to get 4 tickets. It's First Responders Night, and every Friday is a 1, 2, 3 Friday. It means $1 Pepsi products, $2 hot dogs, Hot Dog Wally's hot dogs, and $3 Labatt Blue and other select beer specials. 1, 2, 3 Friday night. You and 3 pals can be there. Monsters, Wolves next Friday night. ClevelandMonsters.com is going to have anything I might have left out. 4 tickets here for you. Caller 10, good luck. Some Cold Steel on us. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
They try to keep the fighting to a minimum, but only because the makeup sex would be awkward.
Well, I can never unsee that.
This is the Alan Cox Show, 100.7 WMMS.
Well, listen, that went all right. Had some funs. Some people out front there at the window.
I
mean,
by the way, thank you to all the people who were texting me. If I liked the Smashing Pumpkins, I would be there. Cool?
That helps. I think that was
cool.
I think the people that really like the Smashing Pumpkins already have their tickets in hand, so that was part of it. And then, yeah, it's still fun.
Listen, it's a good time. You know, we got to mix and mingle with some of the fans of the Pumpkins and of this program. Ray is going into the VIP. I hope that he got my note to wear a tuxedo because it's going to be that kind of room. I'll have another $1,000 for you in about 5 minutes. You go fund yourself, about 30 past every hour. Starts at 9:30 with Rover, goes to 9:30 with Corey Roddick at night. So you get a full day every day during the week of getting some of that money. Cavaliers win last night in front of a capacity crowd, including young Mary Santora and young Bill Squire. 103-92 was the win over the winless Orlando Magic. And they will play in Boston tomorrow night. That's a 7:30 start against the Boston Celtics. Who's left on the Celtics? It's
Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Is he Chandler's
Jaylen
brother?
Brown.
Jaylen Brown, okay. And it's, what's his name? Kevin McHale
No.
plays for the Celtics.
No.
Larry Bird, is he still with the Celtics?
Retired for 30 years.
Paul Pierce. Is he with
retired for about 5 years, 6 years.
I'm getting closer.
Maybe 4.
Kevin Garnett.
Retired.
Oh, man. Oh, who else played for the Celtics?
Robert Parrish.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. Dead and retired. Retired
Dead
and
and
In
dead
what order
and
did that
retired.
happen? Did he die before he had a chance to retire? Or did he retire before he had a chance to die?
He was lucky enough to retire first.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so I'm way off then. Casey Jones, does he still play for the Celtics? Riding that train high on cocaine?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, it's not. Okay, well, anyway. Celtics Cavaliers tomorrow night on WMMS and on the iHeartRadio app. FYI. You can leave us voicemails, by the way. Alan Cox Show After Hours line is always available to you. It's 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan, it's Jesse. So I've just been listening to your podcast, and you just replayed the Lindy Korn video where she hugged someone, or she's talking about someone who hugged her and squeezed her breasts, not as a greeting. Well, I get that Mary is a little confused by this, but you guys all seem so confused by what Lindy is actually speaking about. It's not that he gave this woman a hug and then using his hands just turned around and tweaked her boobs as a greeting. She's referring to the hug as a greeting, and when he was embracing her, squeezing her breasts with his chest, more sexual in nature than just a quick bro hug of what's up.
So he like.
I don't understand why it was so hard to understand, which is now twisting my mind into a pretzel and bothering me. So, yeah. All right, hit show.
Okay, well, Jesse's smarter than us because I was like, that's a weird way to put it.
Yes, I thought hug, honk, honk.
I mean, which seems unlikely, but that's how she made it sound.
So he's saying it was like hug, smush, wiggle.
Something.
Like that.
Her boss hugged her and squeezed her breasts, which felt sexual in nature.
It sounds
not
like two
a
things.
greeting.
It does.
Yeah, those are two
It sounds
separate
like
things.
two things.
And then
Hug
honk,
her
honk.
and squeeze
Right.
her breast.
It sounds like two separate things.
Because if you're saying hugged and then squeezed her to squeeze her breast into him, that's a whole nother explanation. I think he's right about his explanation, but you have to understand her phrasing
Is what's
is
confusing.
ass.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Her boss hugged her and squeezed her breasts, which felt sexual in nature, not like a greeting.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jesse's smarter than we are. And thank you for that clarification, Jesse. I don't know what to tell you. All I do know is that Lindy Korn is still up there. She's the belle of the ball up there in Buffalo, New York. And all kinds of workplace discrimination lawsuits she's putting out there. And she's killing it, from what I understand. So we have a lot of bureau chiefs in the fine city of Buffalo, New York. And if any of you find yourself in a situation where you are hugged and don't enjoy it, you should hit up Lindy Korn because she has a lot of expertise in the matter. Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000. It's a chance for you to go fund yourself. Every one of these keywords got a grand attached to it, so I hope you win. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword cash at WMMS.com. That's cash. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
I did want to say, just very, very quickly, this doesn't, we're going to be weighing Poundcake in shortly. And this isn't important to a lot of people, myself included. But I know that there are a lot of people who are kind of bummed out that McDonald's has announced that the McRib is soon to be no more.
They always say that.
Well, for the season, they say, you better get the McRib because it's going away. They said that it's going on its farewell tour. If you're a fan of the McRib, again, I either sadly or otherwise, I don't think I've ever gotten more views than the video where I ate a McRib with my buddy Andy.
So it was riveting.
Who had a Big Mac for the first time. Well, because again, as I did with reading to my daughter's first grade class this morning, if you recall the video, Mary, I really brought it to life.
It's okay. The whole video.
I really brought it to life. So I have had precisely 1/4 of a McRib in my life. But there are people who really, really love this thing. And I imagine have some kind of calendar with dates circled for when McDonald's announces that the McRib is coming back. But they have said that it's going to be making its farewell tour. Now, is this going to be a Kiss farewell tour, the kind that goes on for 20 years?
That's what I was
Or is it
thinking.
going to be a legit farewell tour?
I think I have a few different ideas of what could be going on. One is that it's going to be the Kiss Motley Crue type of farewell tour where they're like, oh, dude, at popular demand, we got to get back out there. Now, my theory is they made all the McRibs that they ever made in 1981 when the McRib first came out.
So they have like an Indiana Jones size storage facility.
They've been frozen, and they every few years or every year or whatever when they release them, they'll open a case, distribute them, and say, okay, that's this. And they've been doling them out since 1981, and they're finally at the end of the supply. And like, this is it. I think this will be the last one.
So kind of like what Heinen's does with Chub Crunch, where they go, hey, we've got more.
Conspiracy theory.
It's not a conspiracy theory. They have all the boxes they've ever made, and then they go, well, we'll say it's going away. We'll sell 20 more. Then we'll bring it back. So what you're saying is they're singing the same song at McDonald's because they said the McRib was going away in 2005, and they brought it back a couple years later. Here's what I think, because it always goes back to the most boring details, is that I think because pork is so expensive and those McRibs have to have at least a 0.5% pork in them.
I don't think they do.
That because all that stuff is so expensive, that's the real explanation. They're like, yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, but they know people will pay whatever they throw.
Will they?
Yes.
Overpay for McRibs?
No, they're paying what it costs. McRibs, like love, are market price.
Oh, my God.
Catch of the day.
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, there are grown adults who stand in line for goddamn Rick and Morty sauce. So I don't know anything about anything anymore. But you might have seen the signs showing up all across the country.
I mean, people are paying $40 to get McDonald's delivered to their house.
Cold, soggy fries that
So
you get a half an hour later.
They'll pay for a McRib. I think they should step up the quality of the McRib and make it out of not the pureed rib and other meat smushed into a
mold.
A mold. Just
Rib
make
mold.
it actual
Rib
like
and
pulled
other
pork.
meats. Well, it's 520 calories of delightful, tangy goodness for you people who like them. But McDonald's says that it is going away for good
And it's got
on
all
the 20th of November, which places it squarely in the Thanksgiving rush. So maybe if you've been thinking about Thanksgiving and not sure what to do, treat your family to nothing but McRibs. You know, like when Trump would spare no expense. When those championship football teams would come through, there'd be ziggurats of Big Macs and pyramids of fries and nuggets, because that's what elite athletes eat.
Well, when they're celebrating.
Yeah, I just found out that my family's going to have like 2 separate Thanksgivings. I'm like, could somebody please? I'm always so out of the loop. Like nobody will. I have to insert myself into conversations. I have to ask questions or they won't be asked of me.
Mm-hmm.
I have said, since my dad died this summer, I told my mom, hey, I'm going to be coming home for all the holidays for a while because I don't want my mom to be by herself. I know she won't be. My siblings are all there.
Right, but you want to be
But
there.
I want to be
it's
there.
for you, too.
That's right.
Right.
So my sibling group chat, I said, hey, where's Thanksgiving going to be? Because mom shouldn't be cooking or anything like that, right? Never
Is she that bad of a cook?
She's real trash.
It never occurred to me that she might want to.
Mm-hmm.
So my youngest brother sends out a text, hey, we're having Thanksgiving at my house. Everybody's welcome, blah, blah, blah. And then my sister texts me and goes, does mom know that you're coming for Thanksgiving? Because she made it sound like she didn't know. And I said, well, I haven't I don't know that I told her specifically, but I'm pretty sure I did this summer. But she's got a lot on her mind.
Mm-hmm.
So then my mom tells me that she's doing Thanksgiving. I'm like, wait, so you and James are doing 2 separate Thanksgivings?
Are they both on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah. And one didn't seem to know about the other. So I go, could we please forget that? I go, listen, I'll go to both places.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not that big of a deal.
But it'd be easier if it was all in
Well,
one.
I think it would be. I think my mom.
Is your mom's at her new boyfriend's house? Is that why?
Shut up, Bill. I think that I think my mom still is in that mode where she wants to keep doing what she's been doing.
The normalcy helps.
Which I get. I
Yeah.
totally get. I just didn't expect that. I was thinking from the perspective of, hey, let's take this off mom's plate, if you will.
Yeah.
And we'll bring whatever. We'll,
But the cooking might be good for her
Yeah,
if it's
well,
what she's always done.
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I got to get this whole thing ironed out.
You know what?
Because I think my brother's serving pheasant.
Ew.
It's a good bird.
No.
It's good. You ever had pheasant?
No. I don't even
Well,
know
what
what
the
She
hell do
already
you know?
She already knows she just hates
pheasant
it.
looks like. I had told Brian I'm at the point where I'm like, can we just start traveling for holidays? Like, I don't care to do it. I don't want to go to the houses and, because his daughter.
Oh,
is,
you mean like getting out all together?
Let's go.
Not
Let's,
go. Okay.
No,
I
no,
see.
no. Like,
Yeah.
let's just. For Christmas and Thanksgiving, specifically Christmas, I want to just go somewhere. I don't want to be around. I don't want to have to fight with anybody or go to 9 different houses. And
When we got engaged, and I didn't go there planning to ask Gwen to marry me, but we went to Paris for Christmas. 10 years ago.
That's so simple.
It was the greatest
Doesn't it-
Christmas
dude,
of all time.
I'm telling you, I was like,
There's no God. There's no Jesus at every corner. It's just Christmassy.
Yeah.
And it's roasted chestnuts and it's Papa Noel and it was just the friggin' best.
well, and Brian said, he was like, my daughter's still young. I still want to be around for
Yeah, I
the
get
presents. I said, I get that. It's just like I have so many siblings and then his parents and my mom's and Blake between two different places. And I'm like, let's just take her and go.
Well, because you do also have to start your own traditions. Like
Right.
Gwen has made it pretty clear. She goes, I want Nora to be home every year on Christmas morning.
Sure.
So wherever we're traveling, I want her to be able to be home. I said, I completely get that.
Right.
And we're the only ones that aren't out,
In
the rest of my
Chicago,
family's in
yeah.
Chicago. Yeah, so, but, because I'm not, you know me, I'm not going to eat that much. I'm not eating 2 Thanksgivings.
You're not going to eat a whole pheasant.
I'll tuck into the pheasant.
Do they
and
have
then-
drums and thighs?
Yes.
They're birds.
They're birds.
Well,
Yes, of course.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I'll figure it out.
Like a who? Every St. Pheasant's Day, they eat a pheasant.
Yeah. Hey, Randy.
Hello, Alan.
Hey.
You were just talking about the McRib farewell tour, and you guys were speculating, is this going to be like one of those years-long farewell tour a la Motley Crue or Kiss?
Yeah.
I say like they could do an actual farewell tour, and just like those bands are going back to like Elvis and Cher, it could be like a Vegas residency where like the Vegas casinos could like bid with McDonald's to see who gets exclusive to serve like the McRib, and then maybe they could also do Branson, Missouri or something like that,
You mean an actual tour?
Residency.
This sounds very convoluted, Randy. I have to tell you. You're talking about taking it on the road. Okay. There's
Randy.
There's Randy. Thank you, Randy.
Hey.
Let me go to Mike, who is out there on the west coast of Ohio. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, Alan, hate the show.
Thank you, sir. What's going out there on the west coast of Ohio?
Well, today I'm thinking about inflation, and it's sad that inflation is killing, the ingredients to the McRib. It's happening to your Thanksgiving with your family. It's being inflated into 2. Poundcake's weigh-in is about to be inflated again for the second week in a row.
Oh, Mike, you son of a bitch.
Rude.
How dare you cast aspersions on young Poundcake's girth?
It's happening everywhere, Alan. It's killing us. It's grinding everybody. I mean, even Shell today announced its earnings, and they're only able to give back $4 billion in share buybacks.
I saw that
inflation-
last year. Shell made $4 billion. This year, third quarter, they made twice as much money. But you're right. It's the president who figures out what gas costs, not BP and Shell. $9.4 billion in just the third quarter because we're all dummies.
Alan, we all got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps.
Yeah.
They're only able to increase their dividend by 15%.
I know. It's truly the end times, Mike. Truly.
Well, no, not yet.
Oh.
Because they can't. It wouldn't be if they could pay for climate change, to help curb things or change their business model. They can't afford it. We're unable to pay for it because of inflation.
Listen, the important thing is that we continue to cut the tax rates of the wealthiest corporations and people in this nation.
A true American there, I must say.
Yeah. All right, thank you. There's Mike. He is out there on the west coast of Ohio. He's keeping guard over this great land of ours, the Buckeye State, from right there on the shores of Dayton? I don't know. Okay, I got to take a break. We're going to weigh Poundcake when we return his weekly weigh-in. On his way, I call it the path to $200 in his bet with Mary. So we'll do that in a bit. If you want to text 35192 for anything, and you can listen wherever on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7
WMMS. The Buzzard cannot save you from the beating your savings and 401k